My name is Gianni Russo, a.k.a. Carlo, the infamous son-in-law from The Godfather. I'm now known as the Hollywood Godfather, and this is my story.
Before all of the wins in my portfolio, I was a little boy diagnosed with polio. Experimenting with cures, I tried every one. Felt everything in my right, but my left was numb. Walking with a limp, like will I ever run? Once again, or is this it? Am I forever done? Living in the hospital was never fun. Some people were cool, but not everyone.
Hi, everybody. It's Gianni Russo. It's time for another Hollywood Godfather with my co-host, Jeannie Raymond. And Jeannie and I love this show because it's called the Mailbag. And we're reading all the mail that you send us. And we want these cards and letters keep flowing. You've given us great material for shows. We want to continue to make you happy and let you hear and see what you want to hear. Jeannie, how are you, my love?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you. Thank you. It's so fun to be here. And it's so fun to not only get the questions for you to answer, but it's also fun to hear the nice comments and all the different people saying, hey, I just barely found this show. How have I not seen it yet? I'm starting at the beginning and working my way through. So please tell your friends. The more the merrier, because these are great stories and I learn as much as you guys do. That's how I got on this show, just by asking a bunch of questions. And I literally I thought I'm going to get a whiteboard and because I listen in the shower every morning, get up and I'm always in the shower thinking, I want to ask a question about this or that. So send us your questions, because I know if I had questions, you probably do as well. And it always sparks Gianni into a great memory and a really great show. So keep those questions coming. So
yes,
it's
please.
So fun to hear these. So let's see. It's not only fun, but now, and Gianni, I've been waiting for these, but someone named from Car Smart Media said, I was a busboy in Vegas at State Street.
Wow.
And circa 1985. It was quite a place.
Yeah, I mean, even myself, I loved, hearing where my guys went. I had, I had like 200 employees, and to hear like this, and where does he live now?
I don't know. His handle was Car Smart Media. So
Okay.
didn't say his name, but that was a comment, and I loved it because I kept thinking that, we're still kicking. These are people that there's got to be people that went to State Street and that worked there. I have a friend, shockingly, that he parked cars. John parked cars at State Street. It had a ball. He said it was a wild time, and they absolutely loved it. So
you never knew who was showing up.
Oh,
I had 3 presidents show up, every movie star, including Elizabeth Taylor, every major star recording or whatever. But it was that kind of play. I couldn't wait to go there. I was there every night. I was there every night.
You. Well, it's like that's almost unfair to get paid to go and have a ball every night.
Every night I'd show up at 9 o'clock and go out of here by 6 in the morning.
Those are the good old days when we could stay up all night, huh?
Well, I'm still doing that.
Well, so let's see. There's just so many good ones. Let me see where to start. I've got so many questions going here. When were the last time you were married? Were you married at any of the times that while you lived in Las Vegas? This is Alice from Pittsburgh.
When was the last time I was married? The last time I was married wasn't in Las Vegas.
Was it before or after?
After. It was very funny because I really fell in love with this lady, and I knew her family. And I knew her, in fact, I dated her sister. And her mother and grandmother were players of mine at State Street, which is a very funny story. So I called them up. I'll just use their first names. And Jackie and Mame. They used to call the grandmother Mame. And I was close to Mame. So I called her up and I said, listen, I'm coming in to LA because I'm in Vegas yet. And I said, I want to take you all to lunch. I have an announcement to make. She's really? I said, yeah. And I always used to go to the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel. In fact, I used to stay there. So now the whole family's there. And I'm waiting for Shannon, we'll only use her first name, to come. And I'm sitting with Mame and Jackie. And Mame is talking to me. Now, she's much older than me. And she's saying, I can't believe we're going to finally be family members. I said, I can't believe it either. She said, and she's talking about how great Shannon is. And she says to me, this is a classic. She says to me, and when are we going to meet your son? I said, what are you talking about? She says, when are we going to meet your son? He's marrying my granddaughter. And I look at Jackie, and Jackie rolls her eyes. I said, Mame. And she looked at me, she said, oh no, she's marrying you. How is that? Nobody ever had that story before, getting introduced to his in-laws. But we have two great kids.
Oh,
Adriana.
here. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, we had two great kids, Adriana and Luciano. I had an amazing wedding at the Beverly Hills Hotel, 300 people. I took the whole place over. It was a 3-day wedding. The rehearsal dinner, I did the Casablanca theme. I was Rick. And that was crazy. Then we had a black tie where the kids couldn't come, 300 people for dinner. But then I did a reggae beach party around the pool the next day for everybody to come. It was crazy. But it was one of my better weddings.
What? Hey, well, that's good. If it made even how many times were you married?
I only married 4 times.
Oh,
I have 10 mothers to my kids.
right.
That's it. I stopped marrying them. But anyway.
All right. Bethany said, do you have any good stories about Tom Jones? I would love to hear stories about him.
You know, I knew Tom. I didn't know Tom as well under the same management as Engelbert Humperdinck. They came out at the same time from Wales and all that. But Tom was more reserved. And I would have to say probably at the time, Tom Jones was bigger than Engelbert Humperdinck. But I just left Engelbert Humperdinck. And we were both in Baku, Azerbaijan. And we were there for 5 days. I mean, he's been 89 years old.
Incredible. I follow him on Instagram. I love him.
Well, tell him you're with me. You'll follow you in 2 minutes. What I was about to say, the guy at 89 years of age did an hour-and-a-half show. Hour-and-a-half show.
Oh, and he seems like such a happy person, such a kind person.
In fact, he called me yesterday for me to say happy birthday to his sister.
Oh.
Who was 101.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's
well,
funny.
tell him it's my birthday. It's not really, but he can call me and tell me happy birthday. Okay. All right. We've got a couple questions asking, who are the rappers that start your shows, the podcast? Tell us about the rappers.
Joel Ortiz is probably the biggest producer for rappers. I mean, this guy is like off the charts. Yeah. And what's interesting, I didn't even know that he just started our show. But anyway, but I was just with, I always get the kid's name wrong, and he's a big star. And his cousin was on stage with me in Baku. And he said, my cousin's not going to believe I'm here with you. I said, who's your cousin? He said, Ed Sheeran.
Oh, wow.
I just got a message from Ed Sheeran They just signed a new record deal with Universal UK, and he wants to rap with me. I'm going to do a rap album with Ed Sheeran now at 82.
Gianni, yeah, 82 is only a number, and you are living proof of that. That
That's
means
crazy. Oh,
nothing.
yeah. Thank God.
And you know, my cute mom, who's always just getting around, it's crazy. That's it gives you hope that if you're not still moving around, it's your own fault, right?
Oh,
People
yeah.
have to keep on moving. So it's Joel Ortiz and the Heat Maker. What was? Can't think of what
Joe
his.
Ortiz is the biggest rapper in the world, known to everybody.
And he produced it. He was
Yeah.
a producer. Oh, that yeah, it's amazing. I mean, just to hear your story, and I've listened to the podcast, so I've heard the story
Yeah,
over and
for our
over.
listeners that don't know what the rap album is,
Oh yeah.
they approached me to do it. And what they did, they rapped my book, The Hollywood Godfather, from beginning to end. And the other guy's name slips my mind. I apologize. I should look him up while you're finding the question, because he deserves the credit. He was a rapper. Joel Ortiz was the mixer and producer.
Okay. Well, they were great. So yes, we'll find that out. Oh, let's see. I got it right here. Joel or oh,
Oh, you got it? Please.
well, I had it for about a second. Joel Ortiz and Heat Makers. Heat Makers.
Yeah, Heat Maker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's his name, though?
Well,
What's the guy's name? The artist.
all right. I'll find it in a minute while you're telling us the next story.
Okay. All right.
Jeff, I don't know. Someone named Jeff said, Mr. Russo, I was a messenger for Norman Wiseman in the city. Guess you know what city that is. I don't.
Yeah, New York.
And in Florida. Did you know him?
Yes, of course.
Tell me who. I don't know who Norman Wiseman was. Who is he?
Well, we don't want to talk about him on the air.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me get to another. That's what we talk about off camera. All right. Juliet Prowse. Gopher State 777 said they had a big crush on Juliet Prowse. Were you friends with her? And you should do a show on her if so.
Well, Julia Prowse, I got to know, ironically, when I was out doing all the campaign to get John F. Kennedy elected.
Oh.
Julia Prowse was one of the people that would join us in Jack and Trotter's swimming pool at 3 a.m. until the sun came up. And the people that were in that pool, just some of the starlets. And for the people who don't know who Julia Prowse was known for her dancing and singing. She was a headliner at the Desert Inn Hotel. Oh. And which is so interesting to me, I think our listeners would find this very interesting also. When John F. Kennedy used to join us there every weekend for 2 or 3 months, because we had him come there. I didn't have him come, but they had him come to meet high rollers and supporters and everybody who wouldn't want to go to the Sands Hotel and have dinner with Senator John F. Kennedy and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and all that. We did that every weekend. But we were looking at John F. Kennedy in a bathing suit. He had a bathing suit on, though. A lot of people didn't, but he had a bathing suit on. And most of the women didn't have a bathing suit on, including Ava Gardner. I can name up so many stars that were there. Most of them are dead now anyway. But the interesting thing is he never saw a woman totally shaved. I don't want to get into a situation or where, but she was totally shaved. And he kept staring at her. And she used to lay poolside with her legs in the water. And Sammy Davis Jr. took John F. Kennedy to get a closer look. And I'm saying to myself, this is insanity. He's looking at it like it was an object in a zoo. It was the first time he saw the animal.
Oh my hell. Sammy has, like, I had to get a closer look. He just had one eye, right? Oh, that's terrible. All right. Oh, this said, I love hearing you sing on your podcast. What a treat. Will you be doing that again?
When I did what?
Sing, where you sang.
Oh, sang. I'll do it anytime they want.
I loved it. I loved it.
Send it rehearsal. What you want to sing, I'll sing. It's fun.
That's right. Let's see. All right. We got some more. Oh, Reggie asked where there was a time when you almost became Jewish.
Oh, yeah. He must know me from Florida.
I don't know.
When I checked into the Fontainebleau Hotel, I was young and I was going to be there a couple of months. And that's where, Meyer Lansky actually headquartered out of. And they own the hotel, basically. The guy who fronted it, I don't want to mention. He died anyway now, anyway. But I had Cabana 1. And when I checked into the hotel, I checked into as Dr. J. Adams. Because I always knew everybody, especially all the Jewish nannies and all of them, grandmothers, and, they all would come to Miami for the winter. They keep apartments at the Fontainebleau. I mean, that's how big this place was. And so I went to the PBX operator and said, listen, do me a favor. And I was a cute guy. I was in my 20s. I bring them gifts and candy and all that. I said, could you just keep paging me every 15, 20 minutes?
So you sound important.
Well, no, not only no, because they'd say paging Dr. J. Adams, paging Dr. J. Adams. And I'd come up from the cabana and walk slowly to the phone. I had my own phone in the cabana, but I wanted to walk to the hotel phone so people could see the doctor.
Oh my God, you're hilarious.
My idea was all the grandmothers would introduce me to their granddaughters because I'm a doctor.
Gianni, you got such a fast thinking brain.
I almost got in trouble though. They paged me as an emergency, Dr. J. Adams, and I go to a cabana and this lady's red, like choking. And I asked her husband, what's going on? He said, I don't know. And I said, lay down. I did everything I saw, Perry Mason do. Or what what was that doctor on
Dr. Welby. Dr. Welby.
One of them, anyway. So I said, lay down. I got her pulse. I didn't even know what I was feeling. And no. And she was really hyperventilating. I said, and I just took a guess. I said, by any chance, did you have fish last night?
No.
She said, yes. I said, no problem. Can get her some Pepto-Bismol right away. Stay off your feet. Take her elastic off her waist. Just take the Pepto-Bismol. I'll be in Cabana 1. So now, a half hour later, her husband comes down. He's a genius. He's a doctor. I'm not a doctor. He saved my life. He saved my wife's life. I had everybody thinking I was a doctor. Thank God she wasn't choking on a bone. She would have died.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. Okay, I keep forgetting. I get too involved in these stories. We need to take a break.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Sounds good.
And we know where you are.
Vinny from South Philly here. I'm going to tell you, I had one of the best Sunday dinners in a long time. I'm going to tell you why. Right here. Corleone, fine Italian, brother. This stuff is the real deal. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everybody knows me out there. They know. I make my own sauce. I make my own gravy. I make my own pasta. I don't buy this stuff in the store. However, I made an exception. Why? Because my friend Gianni Russo out there, I know what he's capable of doing. I know what he's about. He's about quality. So I said, I got to take a shot. And I'm glad I did. Because, see, I had dinner all over the world. But this product, brings me back to Italy. We got the olive oil. And I've lived in Italy, okay? I lived in Calabria. I've went to Sicily. I've been in Messina. I've been to Palermo. I've been everywhere. And this oil reminds me of an old Italian couple that my father used to buy olive oil from. They used to live in the mountains and they used to make their oil pure from their own olive grove. This is it. It brings me right back to that. And you don't need a lot. You put a little on your salad, you marinate. I mean, come on. You can figure it out. This is the real stuff. I also got their arrabbiata, okay? Again, I don't buy this stuff, but I made an exception. I'm glad I did. I highly, highly, highly encourage you to try this stuff. You won't be sorry, okay? Give it a shot. You go to Corleone Fine Italian. You order it. It comes to the door. And then all you gotta do is put it together. And I'm sure you can look it up. And if you don't know how to cook it, you ask me. And I'll be over for dinner. Enjoy. Salud.
Okay, we're back.
All right. Oh, sorry. I'm so involved in these stories and they're making me laugh. I keep forgetting that I'm reading the questions. All right. Mr. Russo, I remember hearing that Bobby Kennedy was in the area when Marilyn Monroe was killed, maybe with Peter Lawford. Have you heard that?
It's in my book. When I put it in the book, Hollywood Godfather, the editors and the publishers said, we can't put that in there. He'll sue us. I said, I'll indemnify it because he was there. Nobody knew that yet. Because not only was he there, he denied being there. Now, there's no way in the world an attorney general could be in a state or a city that they don't know he's there.
Right.
So I knew Sheriff Baca. Now, in the states in the West Coast, the sheriffs are like police commissioners. So I called Sheriff Baca. I said, did you think that Bobby Kennedy think he was here? We pulled over Peter Lawford on Sunset Boulevard, and who was in the car was Bobby Kennedy.
Oh, geez.
Not only was he in that car, recently, well, not too recently, the the ambulance drivers who got to her house, when they got to the house, Peter Lawford and the maid let them in, and there was Robert Kennedy. He was in the house for a half hour before they called the EMTs. So not only was he there, and thanks for the question,
Right.
he was involved.
It's insanity to think of that. I mean, even, yeah, you just look back at the way they did things back then and how exposed they could have been and how quick the word could have gotten out about what was going on back in the day if they had the kind of technology we do now.
Right, right. You know, and the interesting thing, as you know, I partaked in saving her house in Brentwood.
Right.
And I'm working on moving it from the property it's on because somebody bought it.
Right.
And I want to move the house to a location in Burbank, which I should have straightened out by next year. And Burbank Studios is going to help me raise the money, put the house there, and create a lasting monument. And nobody really knows, but I'm going to say it on the radio, what I'm trying to do. I want to pay to have her body exhumed. And now with the technology,
Oh, boy.
after all these years, they're going to find out that she did not commit suicide. And why I want her death certificate to be changed from suicide to homicide and give her just due, because she did not kill herself.
Right.
I was very friendly to her during that time.
That's
Good
great.
question. Thank
That
you.
would be amazing. Yeah, we thank you for these questions. It makes it so fantastic. Another one, this is Bethany. I don't know if it's the same one. Did you interact with Jerry Lewis in Las Vegas? I've read gossip that he wasn't a very nice person to deal with, quite the opposite of his movie persona. Do you happen to know why he hosted every year the telethon?
This is a news bulletin. I hated Jerry Lewis. He was a crook. His brother owned the publicity company that did all the publicity for the marathon. And that's why at the end of the night, he would cry because he didn't hit his goal, because they found out the equivalent of 27 to 30% of what was raised to produce the show through his brother-in-law's company. So what you saw every Labor Day weekend, and at the end, him breaking down and crying. And that's why muscular dystrophy, when they parted ways, didn't even want anybody to know, because all those millions
Oh,
that were
no, I can't
donated.
imagine.
Hello. That was his biggest payday of the year. That 48 hours to 24 hours that marathon was. He was a rat. No, you was. Hey, you asked my
Yeah,
opinion.
no, I think it's great. Is it,
I was in this company.
all
Moving
right.
on.
What'd you say?
Moving on.
Moving on. So this one is it's Gopher State again. Please ask Gianni if he may someday write a book of secret memoirs that can be released after you pass away. Do you have any secrets that you want to not take to your grave, but not want to talk about before you while you're still here?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because my next book is coming out, and it's called Mafia Secrets. And it'll be out. It's finished. I turned it in.
Oh yeah.
It's coming out in 2025. And Michael Benson is probably one of the best writers in the world, co-authored it with me. And now we're going on to our fifth book, called Celebrities and Gangsters.
These are amazing. It's same author?
Oh, same. Oh, yeah. Same publishing house.
Excuse me, same
Kensington is
publishers,
my
what I
new
meant.
publisher. Michael Benson is my new co-writer.
That's fantastic. All right. So my question is, I know you did quite a few episodes of the Rockford Files.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
One of my favorite shows. One of my favorite movies of all time. Did you see My Fellow Americans with Jack Lemmon and James Garner?
No.
It is hilarious. My kids have seen it 100 times because I had it on so often. It's hilarious, and it is reminds me so much of the times now. You have to watch it if you get a chance. It's very funny with James Garner and Jack Lemmon, and it's just
No, James Garner and I hit it off early on. I think they're 12 or 13.
yeah,
Rockford Files. I was on a lot of them. Great guy. Great golfer too.
yeah. So was where you did the shows? Did you hang out a little bit with
Oh,
him?
a lot. No, well, people don't realize when you're doing television, especially, it's a lot of downtime. By the time they light it, it takes an hour, 2 hours to light every scene.
Oh,
So we
wow.
had stand-ins, and we would either go to each other's trailers, we'll go to lunch, come back in an hour or two. No, James Garner, what a gentleman. Is he alive yet or not? I don't
No,
even.
I think he's passed away now.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Now he's very big, tall guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Very. And the
Not
guy,
that tall, but he looked tall.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I think he was just a little taller than me, actually. I think he was like 5'11" or 6 foot, maybe. He appeared tall because most TV actors are short.
I see. Is it John Wayne that wasn't very big? I'm trying to remember. There was somebody else. I was surprised that they weren't as tall as I was thinking. All right, let me see. All right, let's see if we had one break or two.
We had one break.
We had one break. All right, let's do our next break and we'll come right back and finish up with our last questions.
Okay. We'll be right back. You know the routine. We
That's
know
right.
where you live. Corleone Vodka on March 9th was picked as the best vodka for martinis in the world by the Robb Report. By calling 518-713-4050 or 518-220-9463, it could be shipped directly to your house. The finest vodka in the world by Robb Report. So we're back. What's the next amazing question?
Another question. Love you, Gianni. I can't get enough of your stories about famous people you have met. Not to mention Juliet Prowse, who is my favorite childhood crush. and former girlfriend of Elvis. I wonder if Frank knew. You and Orson Welles are my two favorite storytellers. Some people are jealous because they can't tell stories, nor have they lived the life you have. Do you know Orson Welles?
I don't know Orson Welles, but what a compliment. I know of him. I love him actually too. He's got that great voice, man. When he speaks, you listen.
That's right. Well, and she ended off saying, I wish you a great health and a long life and blessings to your large, loving family.
Thank you. And keep listening. I really appreciate that.
All right. Here's another one. It's just kind of funny because you've just talked about this. Bill said, oh my God, was Marilyn with you at Carlos Marcello's house when Kennedy raided it?
No, Marilyn wasn't there. No, that would have been funny because he was dating her at the time.
Oh boy. And
that
then
would have been hilarious, actually. No.
Yeah, he throws him out and, oh, my girlfriend's here. And the other one said, did his brother tell him to give you a pass? LOL. So apparently not.
No.
So I just thought that was funny, that they would send that out. All right. Let's see. I think we're almost out of questions. Oh, when is your show coming out that features Costello?
I'm sorry?
The show or the series that you had just finished up, do you know when that's coming out?
No, not yet. No.
Not yet?
No, we're still working on it.
Oh, okay.
It's still working, but you'll know, believe me.
All right. Well, what do you got in the works? I think we're done with all the listener questions. Can you tell us what you've got coming up in the future here? You're always up to something.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many things coming up. I'm at which is close to everybody. I know I'm doing something with Boom Boom Mancini.
Oh, yeah. What are you doing?
March 15th. I'm in Warren, Ohio. The tickets are already on sale. And I'll be doing that one-man show. And it's for his foundation.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and then I'm also
a bottle of his vodka with him fighting on it. See if you can pick that up for me.
His vodka? He has vodka?
No, it's I don't know if it was, but it was called Boom Boom something. I can't remember. We talked about it when he was on the show. I don't know. It's got a picture of him on the front of it. I just want to collect. I want to collect pictures with whiskey bottles or vodka bottles with men on the front of them.
Well, I have 7 new liquors coming out in 2025, so I'll fill your mantle pretty good.
All right. Can you tell us what they are? Or is
yeah. I mean, I got a tequila you will not believe. It's all under, Corleone. And I just revised that license, so everybody will be seeing a lot more products.
Nice.
I was in Sicily, and I bought into a 400-year-old wheat farm. You're not going to believe this, how this came to me. It's a wheat farm, 400 years old. It's naturally organic, naturally gluten-free. I have the pasta in my house already here. When you boil the water is clear as when you put the pasta in, as when you finished.
Really?
And that is coming out with my Corleone. If you go on the website, Corleone Fine Italian Foods, there's an expansion of about 16 more products. I'm proud to announce I got a new CEO, Brian Epstein, who's a genius in this business. And we're actually expanding our brand to TikTok.
Oh, wow.
10 million followers a day.
It's on there now or it's coming on?
No, January.
January. Okay.
I'm launching all this in January, which is only 3 months away.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
Johnny,
that's some stuff I'm doing.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I'll be at the starting gate also. The starting gate is like around Maine or that. It's a private club.
Okay.
I'll be there on October 15th
Oh,
doing a
that's
show. I'm doing a lot of shows
a
on
month
that.
away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is a month away. No, I'm doing all these crazy things.
Yes, you are. You're a mover and a shaker, man. You're out there socializing, hanging out, doing more than most 20-year-olds. I'm so jealous. Here I
Well,
sit.
I like being out.
I'm out working in the garden and you're out raising hell. Good for
There you
you.
go. Perfect.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I can't wait to try all the, like you said, decorate my whole mantle there.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do it. We'll be sending you enough product you have to get a bigger mantle.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
I
we
love
want to
it.
thank all of you out there, seriously, because without you, we don't last. And I can't believe we're approaching 300 hours of radio. We have 300. And when I started doing this, who ever thought this in the radio life, we're in our 15th series.
Yeah. Yeah, series. What
Yeah.
season? Our 15th
Season.
I don't know. They're so weird. The seasons, I don't know how they make a season, but
we would not be here without you. We need you. Please keep the cards and letters coming in.
that's right.
Oh, I think that was Jimmy Durante. He used to say that. And then he used to say, and good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. That's how he used to sign off.
Who's Mrs. Calabash?
I think it was somebody took care of him when he was a kid. Now we talk about Jimmy Durante.
Yeah.
That's how he used to sign off.
I love that.
I don't know why that came to mind, but
Well, everybody had their sign-offs. Carol Burnett did her ear. And,
oh yeah, they all had something. Yeah.
that's right. We have to think of something fancy to put on there. Well, Gianni, I'm so excited. I'm really excited about the new food, especially
yeah.
because I'm hungry. I'm really excited about that because if there's anything
could be
I
good.
will
Yeah.
eat, it's pasta.
Definitely. All right.
that's
Well, thank
fine.
you all. And
All right.
we'll talk to you or see you next week.
That's right. Thank you. Have a great night. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, love.
All right. Bye-bye.
And that was that. But I'll be back.
No regrets, no complaints. Lived a life with no restraints. The little kid they all counted out, proved them all wrong, that's without a doubt. Laying there with my left side numb, 5-year bout with polio, but yes, I won. From standing on corners like how many pens you want to living in a bakery, then opening my own restaurant. Of course, I had some help along the way, friends like Frank Costello that I miss each and every day. Things from many years ago still resonate.